let me say that I'm really honored to be here and to introduce the Italian space activities in this context. I'm really proud to be in the conditions to introduce the Italian space ecosystem and also to promote the possibility of increasing our cooperation. As I was introduced, I'm working International Affairs Directorate in the Italian Space Agency. In this period, working as a reference point for the international relations on in the relations with the European Union. Let me say that talking about the Italian space governance, I would like to start considering that in Italy, space activities are under the responsible of the Prime Minister or a delegate person from the Prime Minister that is coordinating the high-level guidelines for space activities. Then we have, similarly to what has been created in Greece, an interministerial committee on space and aerospace policies. And last but not least, I would say there is the Italian Space Agency that is an operational entity also supporting in advisorship and direct support the activities on space at governmental level. When we consider what are the guidelines defined at governmental level, we can
Sorry for that. We have another technical problem. Usually doesn't have to do with the link though. Okay. It has to do a little bit with our professor. We're going to have him in a couple of, because we had a problem with the presentation. Οπότε, νομίζω έχει ενδιαφέρον να κάνω αυτό το switch από ελληνικά στα αγγλικά συνέχεια. Λοιπόν, αλλά θα έχουμε το κύριο Ρουμπίνη σε μερικά δευτερόλεπτα. Εδώ πέρα. Να το. Ωραία. Mr. Rubini, can you hear me? We're trying to do with a presentation.
So, still considering the high-level guidelines at the national level, we can recall the use of space, interpretation of space as a strategic lever, space diplomacy as a key instrument for foreign policy. Then we have in general, the importance of considering sustainability and space governance and also industrial internationalization. In any case, we consider important space also because of our heritage, recalling that our activities in space started since the 50s, starting from two very important professors, Mr. Amaldi and Luigi Broglio. Since then, many steps have been brought on by the Italian activities in space, but we have to say that we started through international cooperation in space. So for us, international cooperation, bilateral and multilateral cooperation is a key word in the development of our activities. We were among the founders of ELDO and ELSRO that joined together to create the European Space Agency later on, and we are considered as the third country sending a satellite into orbit, a known satellite into orbit in the 1964, and the Italian Space Agency was created in 1988. Today we have more than 450 employees. We are 4 main centers, location of the Italian Space Agency, of which one is in Kenya, where we have the Broglio Space Center with about 200 local workers and many national workers, and from which we deploy different classes of operations. As I said, international relations activities. Because of this, we have around 100 agreements signed by the Italian Space Agency along these years, and one of them is with the Hellas Space Center, and we'll talk about it in a while. Considering the approach that Italy fosters in its activities, or that ASI fosters in its activities, we can recall three main classes of activities. One is at national level, including all the Resilience Fund or Next Generation EU activities that have been supported by the European Commission and European Union. Then we have the activities at European level through ESA and the European Union. So two classes, two different European frameworks in which we operate. And then we have bilateral and multilateral initiatives at European and international level. So cooperation with NASA, JAXA, and many other international players. When considering the Italian industrial sectors, we have a broad range of elements that characterize our national community of space. First of all, I would like to recall more than 300 companies, about 23,000 employees, 3 industrial associations, more than 60 universities and research centers involved in space activities, 15 technology districts. As far as I know, there are agreements in between at least one of these technology districts and the Hellas community, space community, 5 incubation centers, and so on. One element I would like to recall is that in Italy we have a rather equal distribution of space activities around the country, and this is particularly important when considering the governance support that has been brought on during all these years to the space activities. Then we have a rather complete coverage of the value chain in upstream and downstream sectors, so moving from research and development till the application and services sector. When considering also the class of activities that we have, or companies that we have, we can see that a very big percentage of startup and small and medium enterprises is representing our context. This is particularly important for us when we consider the capability of innovating. So innovation is a key element. Clearly, every innovator knows the death valley and the risks that are included in these processes. However, it's absolutely important in our perspective to keep this percentage of small and medium enterprises and startups very high, so to support continuously the backbone that we can see in our big company, large system integrators that operate at national level. Many companies, then we have to say, have moved from a startup to small and medium enterprises, and also some of them moved to be bigger companies from the level of small and SME. An equal distribution of activities in upstream and downstream is represented, also considering the midstream. So this is particularly interesting in our perspective. Moving to the themes, the specific space sectors, we are covering rather all of our specific sectors. Here we have some examples of the activities that we have been supporting in science programs and exploration programs. But I'd like to recall some mission highlights that we are supporting in this period. So we can recall Cosmos Skymed, the Constellation Synthetic Aperture Radar, CIASGE, that is a collaboration with Argentina in order to promote the SAOCOM cooperation in between the Cosmos Skymed, the Constellation, and SAOCOM Constellation, the Argentinian one, to cover different bands in SAR activities. Then we have the Prisma satellite or Prisma class of satellite, considering there is the second generation in development related to hyperspectral observation. Then we have the mini satellite multi-application platform that is the Platino platform, and Iride, one of the most recent babies, if I may say, that is the multi-sensor constellations with high revisit time that we are developing in partnership with ESA, and that could be that could open opportunities for eventual discussion on next evolution our cooperation. On the side of telecommunication and navigation, we would recall Moonlight, that is the collaboration also in the framework of ESA concerning the future lunar communication and navigation system on the moon. Lugre mission, that is a recent payload that has been sent on the surface of the moon to demonstrate the viability of using existing GNSS signals for position, navigation, and timing on the moon. And then our participation and involvement in the commission activities such as in GovSatcom and IRIS Squared. Here we have a sketch of our activities on human and robotic exploration. As you probably know, Italy participated to the development of about 50% of the habitable modules of the International Space Station US side. And this implies that we have always cultivated the attention on our generation of astronauts. So we can enlist a huge crew of astronauts that have been covering these activities and that are ready to cover our participation in human in space activities for the next future. As you probably know, this is a key element also on supporting our STEM activities in a national level, also considering the capabilities that astronauts have in promoting, let me say, the dream of space and the future evolution of the space activities in exploring the solar system. Then we cannot forget to recall space transportation with Vega C and Vega E, where we have the Italian leadership in ESA, Ariane 6 with the P120 engine, and Space Rider that has an Italian leadership, the re-entry system and reusable system to be launched with Vega C. Now, last but not least, I'd like to recall the important memorandum of understanding between Italy and Greece, in particular in between ASI and the Hellenic Space Center. We signed it in October 2023. And as you can see here, we have, I reported a list of themes for cooperation in between our agencies. I would like also to recall that last May 26, so last 7th of May, there has been here in Rome a Greek-Italy bilateral dialogue on digital and space cooperation involving our ministers, Mr. Adolfo Adolfo Urso, the Delegate Authority for Space and Aerospace Activities from the Italian side, and Mr. Papastergiou, Minister of Digital Governance on the Greek side, and also the head of our agencies, so our President, Mr. Valente, and Emmanuel Ramos for the HSC. So to conclude this, I would like to recall as this memorandum of understanding are open doors to foster our cooperation. So this is a stimulus also to get in touch and foster ahead our implementing processes of cooperation. I can confirm that we are consolidating our joint steering committee for this agreement, and we're proposing colleagues that are from the Earth observation side on one theme, and another theme will be related to science and exploration. So I believe in a few weeks we will be able to consolidate this joint steering committee to promote a step ahead in the support to this memorandum of understanding. I thank you a lot for the attention, and I wish you a good continuation of this interesting and important event.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rubini.